Providing effective challenge to the head teacher and other senior leaders is an important part of the governing board's role. The three core functions of governance are ensuring clarity of vision, ethos and strategic direction, holding executive leaders to account for the educational performance of the organisation and its pupils, and the performance management of staff. Also, overseeing the financial performance of the organisation and making sure its money is well spent. The three core functions of governance should influence all of your challenge-based questions. It is important when asking questions that governors consider what is strategic and what is operational. Strategic governors focus on making sure every child gets the best possible education. They establish the long-term vision for a school. In addition, they promote the character and ethos of the school. They build a supportive and productive relationship with the head teacher whilst holding them to account for performance of the school. And they challenge the school to bring about improvement and hold leaders accountable for performance. In addition, they agree the strategic improvement priorities and monitor progress and impact. Governors should also evaluate their own performance and improvement as a governing board and have high expectations for all. There are 6 key features of effective governance which are detailed within the Governance Handbook. Strategic leadership, accountability, people, structures, compliance and evaluation. The guidance states that a board's first core function should be about providing strategic leadership. It describes this as involving setting the organisation's overall strategic framework, including its vision and strategic priorities, and setting and modelling its culture, values and ethos. In addition to strategic leadership, the Governance Handbook describes the second of a board's key features as being about creating robust systems of accountability for executive leaders. The third key feature of effective governance is people, and boards should think about how they can build a diverse and effective team. The DfE points out that the effectiveness of a board depends on the quality of its people and how they work together with executive leaders. Effective governance structures are described as including appropriate board and committee structures that reflect the scale and structure of an organisation and ensure sufficient and robust oversight of key priorities. A clear separation between strategic, non-executive oversight and operational executive leadership. Processes for ensuring appropriate communication between all levels and structures of governance and to pupils, students, parents, carers, staff and communities. As well as having the right structures in place, effective governance is described by the DfE as involving compliance with key duties and responsibilities as set out in relevant legal and statutory requirements, codes of conduct and best practice. The last of the key features of effective governance, identified by the Department of Education, is that of carrying out regular evaluation. The DfE states that boards should regularly evaluate their own effectiveness. They should also carry out regular audits of the skills they possess in light of the skills and competencies they need. It is essential that governors take into account the Nolan principles of public life when undertaking their role. These are selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty and leadership. A range of powers and duties have been given to governing boards, which include promoting high standards of educational achievement, agreeing appropriate targets for pupil achievement, ensuring breadth and balance of curriculum, RE and sex education, collective worship and EYFS curriculum, reporting on assessments and examination results. And in terms of policies, deciding how, in broad strategic terms, the school should be run, monitoring the school's budget, approving the staffing structure and pay awards, and appointing the head teacher and other senior leaders and deciding how other appointments will be made. Management of staff conduct, discipline and grievances. And in terms of performance management, establishing policy and reviewing this annually. There are several important questions for governors to consider. How is the school currently performing? Are parts of the school more effective than others? And if so, what lessons can be learned? Are some groups of pupils doing better than others? And if so, why? How does the school's achievement compare with its previous performance? How does the school's performance compare with other schools? Are some areas stronger than others? In terms of finance, are resources allocated in line with the organisation's strategic priorities? Does the organisation have a clear budget forecast, ideally for the next 3 years, which identifies spending opportunities and risks? Does the organisation have sufficient reserves to cover major changes such as restructuring and any risks identified in the budget forecast? Is the organisation making best use of its budget, including in relation to planning and delivery of the curriculum? How can better value for money be achieved from the budget? Is the organisation complying with basic procurement rules and ensuring it gets the best deal available when buying goods and services in order to reinvest these savings into teaching and learning priorities? To find out more about how you can provide effective challenge and to access our Governor CPD package, please access our training page on www.servicesforschools.org.uk.